I know I've already started my makeup, but I should put this in the beginning of the video. I'm going to just discuss the show. Nurse Jackie, the protagonist of the show, is a drug addict. I'm not going to be focusing on that part. I'm going to be talking about the show as a gay fangirl, but it is a show about that, just as like a little warning. Okay, now I'm going to resume. Hi, welcome back to my channel where I attempt to distract myself and hopefully some of you as well from the state of the world right now. Today's t-shirt of the day is also today's thesis statement, which is, "She gay dude, stop it, LOL," which is from a Leslie Jones tweet, in case you're not familiar. I'm gonna do my makeup while also on a rant about why one of my favorite characters of all time totally is a lesbian. She basically was written as a lesbian, but she should have been allowed to date women in the show. So I'm going to do my makeup while I make my case for that. So as we've already established in my last video, Nurse Jackie is one of my favorite characters of all time. And yes, she is a drug addict, but as a character, she's so great, especially in like the first couple seasons when you're like getting to see her and her dynamic with her coworkers and how she is at her job, and just like, she's so funny. I love her so much. And as I said in my last video, but it bears repeating, Edie Falco is 100% welcome to ruin my entire life at any time. I had this idea because I was thinking, bitch, you're in isolation. You have nothing to do but binge watch, rewatch your favorite shows on Netflix. What's one of your top favorite shows on Netflix? Nurse Jackie. There's like 1 billion seasons of it. It's the perfect show to binge watch and rewatch. I'm sorry, I just want to take a moment to appreciate my makeup brush container. But I found myself not wanting to rewatch it. And I was like, why? Why is that? And here's why. Because I'm still bitter about the fact that she's not lesbian. She is a lesbian, but they didn't allow her to date other women, and I'm really upset. Here is my case for why Nurse Jackie clearly was a lesbian character. They just didn't allow her to be gay. First, throughout the show, she has essentially 3 significant relationships. Throughout the show, there are 3 other adults who play a really significant role in Nurse Jackie's life. Number 1 is Dr. Eleanor O'Hara. She is an OBGYN, she's British, she's kind of a bitch, and they get along great. Number 2 is Kevin Peyton, Jackie Peyton's husband. And number 3 is Eddie. He's the pharmacist. She starts a relationship with him so that she can get drugs, basically without questions. Oh, and you know what? An honorable mention. This character is the perfect example of a chaotic bisexual. I adore her. Zoe Barkow. She's just chaotic bisexual. She's so precious and adorable and relatable, and I just adore her so much. Or, you know, chaotic pan. She's chaotic queer. I know too many queers like her. There's no way she's not queer. So now I'm gonna finally do my other eye here and then we'll continue. By the way, what I'm doing is I'm going into the Black Moon Cosmetics Orb of Light palette, going into black, and I'm doing my pre-liner. I'm gonna go into my Franken shade. I decided to call this Fire Opal because, here, I'll swatch it for you. We'll resume the fangirl key smashing in a moment. First, I just want to swatch this for you. I don't think it's really picking up on all the glitter. It's basically like an earthy brown pink color. And then there's a just absolute frick ton of glitter, which the camera's, oh, okay, you can kind of see it there. There's just a frick ton of glitter in it. So that's why Fire Opal, because if you look at Fire Opal, the main stone has that earthy pink color, but then it's an opal, so then you have these cracks of opal, and it's really cool. Anyway, should we put something in the outer corners? I'm gonna go into the ColourPop Misunderstood palette. We're gonna go into this shade. It says Jetsam. That's not what the color is. I just organized this palette in the way that I wanted to organize it, not the way that the colors actually are organized in their palette. So I don't know what the color is, but it's this rich brown with like copper and gold glitter. And I'm gonna put that in the outer corner because I think it's gonna complement the Fire Opal shade very well. You may be saying, but Jackie was married, right? She was married and she had a boyfriend. How can she be a lesbian? First of all, lesbians have dated men. It's happened. Like I've said before, human sexuality is like the ocean. There's more that we don't understand than what we do. And sometimes it takes a while to figure yourself out. I've dated men. I've cared for men. It took me a while to realize I didn't want them in my bed, but it takes a while. It's human sexuality is confusing as heck. Anyway, back to the show. Jackie is married to, what's his name? Kevin. He's so forgettable. I keep forgetting his name. He is the man that lesbians who don't realize they're gay yet date and marry. He has no personality. He's like the guy you look at, you're like in denial, brain goes like, ah, yes. You seem like a dependable specimen with good genes. You will take care of the family. You will provide good genetics for children. There's no sense of like chemistry. What is chemistry? You don't need chemistry. You just need somebody who's dependable and who's there. Oh, and I forgot to mention, Nurse Jackie was created by a lesbian couple, okay? You watch this show knowing that it was created by a lesbian couple, you tell me Nurse Jackie's not a lesbian. Moving on. Eddie Walzer, the pharmacist. Do I even need to say more? He was a pharmacist. She was a drug addict. Could I make it any more obvious? I can't sing, and I'm aware of that, which is why I didn't really try to sing that line. But you know what I mean. He can get her drugs, and if she manipulates him into caring about her, then he's not gonna ask questions. Like, it's... Come on. So now, we circle back around to Dr. Eleanor O'Hara. Nurse Jackie and Dr. O'Hara had more chemistry than Nurse Jackie ever had with any male character on the show ever. Dr. O'Hara is such a bitch. In an endearing way, she's an endearing bitch. She has such great chemistry with Jackie. It just works. Like, they just work. Like, they have lunch every day. This is, again, the earlier seasons, which are, like, obviously the best seasons, as with every show. They're endgame. Like, you watch the show and tell me they're not endgame, because they're endgame. God, I don't even remember which guy they tried to make endgame. They tried to make one of the dudes endgame. I can't remember which one. The chemistry between O'Hara and Jackie. They make each other laugh. Like, also, if you look at, like, and look, it's been a long time since I've even seen the show. Like, I think the last time I rewatched the show was, like, a year ago or so. But still, I remember when Jackie is on dates with either Eddie or Kevin, like, they don't, like, make her laugh. There's no, like, banter. They're just, everything's, like, very, like, tense and stressful. And it's just, and, like, when she's with Kevin, she's hiding the fact that she has a boyfriend, and of course the fact that she's a drug addict. And when she's with Eddie, she's hiding the fact that she's a drug addict and the fact that, let's be honest, she never really loved him at all. Here's the thing, I do believe that she cares for Kevin. And a little bit for Eddie, but, like, she cares for both of them in that, like, cancer way. I don't remember what Nurse Jackie's birthday is supposed to be, but Edie Falco's a cancer, so, like, her character Nurse Jackie's got to have cancer somewhere in there. Like, I've met you, and so therefore I will forever care about your emotional well-being, but, like, care for, like, a partner? Bitch, where? You know what I mean? Like, where? Because I don't see it. Yo, I made up this combination, like, pretty much on the spot, and I'm kind of digging it. Like, this looks really, it's a really nice combo. I like this combo. of a shade I don't remember the name of from the Villains palette, and my Franken shade, which I'll never be able to create when I finally use up this, but look, I have 3 pans full of it. It'll take me like 25 millennia to just use it all up, and let's be honest, the world is going to be way over by then. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to distract ourselves from impending doom. So let's continue. Before I have to decide what highlighter we're going to put in the inner corners, I'm going to go into, look, it's the shade I put into this Mongrels spot, but I don't know. It's like a light pink with like pink and blue shimmer. Look, if you get this palette, it'll be one of those colors. We're going to dip into it, and we're just going to kind of put it over the whole, just add a little extra sparkle over the whole lid. Okay, so you compare that dynamic, right? Every time she's with Kevin or Eddie, there's this tension, and it's like she can't really just like breathe and be herself because she's got to be like pretending to be their partner in a way that she's not really their partner because there's no chemistry because she's gay, okay? Then you compare that with Dr. O'Hara. They have lunch every day and they have a great fucking time. They make each other laugh. They like get each other. You know the difference? Like you're watching 2 characters, they just get each other, you know? They have that chemistry, they have that flow, the conversation flows, and they've got that, and it just is, they're so cute together, and it just, you're like getting swept up into that, and your heart's just going like, oh my god, I ship them. That's what Jackie and Eleanor have. God, even just talking about Jackie and Eleanor like make me want to rewatch the show. But I'm gonna watch it and then we're just gonna be mad because they're not together. You know what I mean? Why do the people in charge of television and movies have to be so homophobic? Yeah. I'm not sure this difference is coming through on camera at all, but it just like adds a little extra glitter. So this is kind of an everyday look. I wanted to keep it simple because I knew that fangirling like this would take a lot of brain energy, so I wanted to keep the makeup pretty like easy to do. Oh, here's another thing. There's a point at which Eleanor like takes another job in like England or something, so she's gonna move, and like whatever Jackie's husband, Kevin, I keep forgetting his name, whenever like he's gonna be gone for a while, or whenever the boyfriend's gonna be gone for a while, there's like this like relief of like, oh, thank God I don't have to like pretend. Like you can see it. Jackie's just like, oh, I don't have to like try to balance this relationship, you know, he's gonna be gone for a while, so I can just live my life. My life is gonna be more simple for a little while. And you can like see it in Jackie. Versus when Eleanor says that she's gonna move, Jackie gets really angry. Like I think if I remember correctly, she like goes through a period where she's like being a real petty bitch toward Eleanor. Come on, they are such a lesbian couple that just weren't allowed to be a lesbian couple. The highlighter I'm gonna use is, this is from the Kraken Cosmetics Cyberpunk palettes, and it is like the super like pearlescent white one. Also, like, okay, this is kind of a tangent, but like this whole thing is a tangent, so Zoe Barco, she's like the nurse. She's like the new nurse, right? And she starts working and she's like looking up to Jackie, and it's like, oh, she's so cute. Oh, Zoe is, I just want to be Zoe's best friend. I love Zoe. She's so precious. So I'm just putting this in the inner corners. There we go. To be fair, like I could be projecting because like that dynamic of like caring way more about your best friend than you care about your romantic partner. That was the soundtrack to my college social life. I recognize that I could just be projecting, but I don't think so. Okay, I keep returning to the fact that this show was created by a lesbian couple. I'm kind of digging this look, I have to say. We're gonna do this bright blue as an underliner, just for fun. I wanna see what it looks like. Ooh, I kinda like this, I have to say. Kinda digging this. That is my TED Talk on why Nurse Jackie is a lesbian. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Okay, so when the show was created, the 2 creators were a lesbian couple. then they broke up. And then one of them started dating Melissa Etheridge. And when I Googled it, Google may have lied to me, but when I Googled it, they are still married. On one of the season finales, I don't remember which one, it was one of the earlier ones, like when the show was still like at its apex of awesomeness. One of the season finales ends with a scene. I'm not going to tell you like what the scene is, because just in case you haven't seen Nurse Jackie and you decide to watch it, I'm not going to spoil it, but like the last moment of the season finale, Melissa Etheridge's song Nervous is playing. It gets gayer. I'm not done. So then, as a what I can only assume is like a promotional effort, there's a music video. I don't know, like I don't know how did this ever air? Was it just like extra footage that when you bought the Nurse Jackie DVDs, you like, this was one of like the bonus footage features? Did it ever air on television? I have no idea, but it is like a music video where Melissa Etheridge sings her song Nervous, which is such a gay song. The whole song is about how like other people don't approve of our relationship, but girl, you make me hot. Like that's it. That's the song. That's the song. It's so gay. And the music video is Melissa Etheridge playing the song, obviously. And then Edie Falco comes in and it's just like digging the song. She's just like enjoying the music. And I'm like, oh my, this is promotional content for the show. And you tell me that the character is not gay? Girl. Sure. Even the L word didn't get Melissa Etheridge on the fucking show. And that was a show, the L Word was a show where there was a club that musicians played. Even they didn't have promotional material of Melissa Etheridge singing a song that was included in a season finale of the show. If you haven't seen Nurse Jackie, you can still watch the promo. They don't like give anything away. It's so gay. And like, okay, in the music video, so they have like this projection of like scenes from Nurse Jackie. And there's like scenes of like the character being straight, like kissing her husband and whatever. And you're like, sure, Jan. Okay. Now we're just gonna go in and do eyeliner round 2 with Black Moon Cosmetics Black. There's just no way that Nurse Jackie was heterosexual. You look at the dynamic that she had with Eleanor, there's no heterosexual explanation for that. And let me be clear, of course platonic relationships happen between women. I'm not saying that two women who get along have to be dating, obviously. But the chemistry is there, is what I'm saying. The chemistry is there between Eleanor and Jackie. It just is. Like, for example, you look at the relationship between Jackie and Zoe, and that's like the perfect example of like friends, colleagues. They're so cute together, but like in like a friendship, banter type of way. Eleanor and Jackie, it's another level. Now it's time for mascara. There is still somewhat of a shame and stigma around not realizing that you're gay until you've already had relationships and intimacy with guys, as if your dating history dictates your orientation. So if you're a woman and you've dated guys, you can't be a lesbian. I've seen a lot of women who don't realize that they can date women, and they don't realize that that's an option until they're older. And so then there's like this additional struggle. Not only are you like figuring out your own gayness and what your sexuality actually means because you've been denying it for your entire life. So when you've established this knee-jerk reaction toward your own sexuality of shutting that shit down immediately, how do you learn how to let it back into your life and have it be a part of your life? That's just complicated in and of itself. But then on top of that, we're all being like, I'm not gay enough to be gay. It's just like this extra level of stress that like nobody fucking needs. Because I've seen so many people struggle with that, then I think that there's a lot of value in showing characters who go through that process. Maybe they are married. And not in this, like, there are a couple movies out there that are basically just porn for guys. Bored housewife discovers hot stripper neighbor after the housewife and the stripper sleep together, then like the stripper dies for no reason. Like that shit. That doesn't count. I'm talking about like actual characters. People watching can actually identify with these characters and feel less alone. You know, you realize you're gay and you're like, who can understand and like help me understand what this is? For people who come out later in life, we're like still coming to terms with that. So to see even a fictional character living their lives on the other side of that struggle, or you know, even like seeing them go through that struggle but like arrive at the other side, is I think something that can be really, really, really psychologically impactful to pull all of this around to Nurse Jackie. What I would have liked to have seen in the show. So start out basically the same, married, boyfriend, all that nonsense. It's relatable for a lot of us. And then her relationship with Eleanor, I think it would have been really interesting to see that relationship develop. I think that letting go of the pressure to be heterosexual, I think would have helped her on her journey, because there was a part of her that wanted to get clean. How they ended the show, which is ambiguous on purpose, I think that was cool. I think it was like unsettling, but like in a good way. And I think they could have kept that, but I think it would have been so much more interesting to have seen her develop this relationship that was more satisfying than any relationship she'd had before. That would have given her more motivation to get clean. But at the same time, getting clean, like no matter how strong your motivations are, getting clean is incredibly difficult. And I think that they could have ended the show with the same level of ambiguity, but could have given her character more growth and development. So even with the ambiguous ending, you look at the character's development over the span of all of the seasons, and you still get that satisfaction of seeing Jackie understand herself better and grow and find more peace within herself. Like, look, obviously I'm rooting for Nurse Jackie. A part of me would have really loved to just have her have that happy ending, but I understand why they had the ending as ambiguous as they did, and I think that I appreciate that. I think we would have, as the audience, kind of had the best of both worlds if we had gotten to see her explore herself and find out about herself and like come out and like have this really satisfying romantic relationship. Like, it would have had the catharsis of this ambiguous ending along with the like also cathartic hope and inspiration of seeing the character grow and seeing the character become more herself along with everything. In conclusion, I just want to see more gay stuff, man. I just want to see more gay content. I just want to see more gay stories. I want us to be able to write our stories and create our content. I want a lesbian couple to be able to create the character of Nurse Jackie and have her be a lesbian.